Welcome back. The House Select Committee on Benghazi issued its final report today, and the findings were not positive for President Obama nor Hillary Clinton. Miranda Khan has more.
JD, it's been 2 years in the making, and today Republicans released their final moment of truth about what happened on that fatal night at Benghazi, all 800 pages of it. And just as important, what did or didn't come from the Obama administration while Hillary Clinton served as Secretary of State. Now, while some deem the report shocking, others aren't so convinced, and some seem unaffected almost entirely.
I'll leave it to others to characterize this report, but I think it's pretty clear it's time to move on.
That was Hillary Clinton responding after Republicans on the House Benghazi Committee released their 800-page report into the 2012 Benghazi attacks that left 4 Americans dead, including U.S. Ambassador Chris Stevens.
They will be shocked when they read the report.
For many Republicans, the findings show a serious failure by then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton while serving under the Obama administration.
No U.S. military asset was ever deployed to Benghazi despite the order of the Secretary of Defense.
Equally as troubling,
the evidence shows rather strongly that they misled the American people.
But the question some are asking today is, did we learn anything new that we didn't know months ago?
There was never a video-inspired protest in Benghazi.
Also being questioned, the timing in which this report was released.
This report has never been about one person. It's been about the 4 Americans.
And lastly, did the Republican-led committee actually find a bombshell, or smoking gun, if you will, in regards to Clinton's role in this attack?
What difference at this point does it make?
That depends on who you ask, and apparently who you tune into.
Benghazi bombshell, 2 years in the works. House Republicans release a bombshell report.
This is the 8th investigation, and nothing new came from this.
What's been fascinating to me is watching the elite media try to protect Hillary and cover up for Hillary.
But it's not just the mainstream media that seems to be at odds over this report. Even some Republicans are openly critical of the committee. Brent Bozell, who's the president of Media Research Center, which leans right, says he's stunned by the GOP's unwillingness to accomplish, according to him, anything in Congress. JD, back to you.
Thanks very much, Miranda. And again, it is worth noting that we welcome your insights and analysis from the comfort of your own home. Pick up the phone and give us a call, and here's the number you call: 1-877-Newsmax. That's 1-877-639-7629. And one other note, when you come on with us, it's important you turn down your television set because there's a bit of a delay. Now, with no further delay, we're pleased to be rejoined by our panel. Former Lieutenant Governor of New York, Betsy McCaughey, Skyping in from Connecticut. And again, here with me on the anchor desk, the former Chief of Staff to Congressman Walter B. Jones, Jr. That's our good friend, Glen Downs. Betsy McCaughey, first to you. When we hear the elite media say, well, there's nothing new here, isn't that basically saying, sure, Hillary lied, so what?
That's right. The facts in this report are scathing. Unfortunately, the tone of the report is overly tempered. And so if you just read it, you won't really notice these facts buried in 800 pages. But the fact is that Hillary Clinton lied, the president lied, and they should be held accountable for that. That and the fact that somehow the Secretary of Defense's orders to deploy military were never carried out.
Glen Downs, you were on Capitol Hill for part of the Select Committee's work, and yet it's the same dynamic of work we saw 20 years ago with the Clintons. Oh, there's old news here, nothing to see, move along.
Well, that is the Clinton playbook. You deny everything, you admit nothing, and you accuse your accusers. And it's worked pretty well for them for a very long period of time. And Republicans have not, to Brent Bozell's point, Republicans have not done a good job of cracking that code. Perhaps Betsy McCaughey's right that they were too timid in the way that they laid things out, and by giving somebody 800 pages of stuff, no one's going to read it if they have to find those facts.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's go to our callers who are never timid. Out to Topeka, Kansas we go for Richard. Richard, welcome to Newsmax Prime. Your thoughts on Benghazi?
Thank you, J.D. I think what's happened is exactly what the Democrats counted on, and that is delay, delay, delay. And what's taken place is the American people have gotten it drip, 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 and they've caught part of it. It's like taking a book and tearing half the pages out and throwing them away and then asking for a book report. And American people haven't put all the pieces together and understood what happened and what's taking place. And I think it'd be well if we had a documentary put on by Newsmax or Fox or one of the elite stations to actually explain to the American people.
That's a great idea, Richard. That's a great idea. We will take it under advisement. Let's turn our attention now to more going on, and that, of course, includes the presidential campaign. Our Newsmax TV political analyst Dick Morris has a brand new book, Armageddon, that is zooming up the Amazon lists. It's already #1 in several categories, and in making the TV rounds that are part of his book tour, Dick focused in on the dynamic between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Let's watch.
Left and right aren't as important as insider outsider.
Sure.
And Trump needs to go after Hillary not just as a liberal, but as the ultimate insider, the ultimate elitist. The nice thing about Trump is that he can fix all of his problems by what he says. Hillary cannot fix her record by what she says.
Betsy McCaughey, to you. You heard what Dick had to say there. Will it be insiders versus outsiders, Washington versus the rest of us? And will Trump, delivering the message he did today, anti-globalization, will that be enough to make a difference in November?
I believe it will. First of all, Trump is waging a war against two kinds of insiders. The Republican insiders who are trying to deny him the nomination, sabotage the convention. I don't think that they will succeed. And then secondly, the rest of the insiders, the Democratic establishment represented by Hillary Clinton, the ultimate insider. What he did today in his speech, Donald Trump, was put his finger on one of the most important issues for Americans, and that is we've lost jobs because of global trade deals. I've lived in 2 states, Connecticut and New York, that have suffered tremendously from these trade deals, and I feel it up close. And I believe that the Republican Party must abandon its free trade dogma and side with Donald Trump on this issue. We need fair trade, not free trade.
And let's give our viewers a fair crack at this whole topic with their comments. Let's head out west to California. That's where Lee is on the phone. Lee, your take on what has transpired, media coverage, presidential politics, and the report on Benghazi.
Well, I think the whole thing's disgusting as far as Benghazi. I think that Clinton has made a horrible mistake. It's obvious to everybody. And I would like to say one other thing, and that is that I think that why can't we get together and put some kind of a protest against the news media so that we can get the truth. Newsmax, I love you guys. I love all of you. And, it's just disgusting that we can't get the truth. Enough people aren't getting the truth out there.
Well, this is what's important, Lee. That's why you need to tell all your friends and have everybody join us here on Newsmax TV, because we're not the media, we're Newsmax, and we're here to take the right approach in more ways than one. Lee, we thank you for the call from Hesperia, California. Glen Downs, to that topic, there has been a suggestion made when you take a look at the incestuous relationships between the dominant media culture and so many parts of official Washington, and especially the Obama White House, that there be a new website or a new group to expose those connections. Is that part of the answer?
Probably is, and outfits like Newsmax that are not part of the media industrial complex are beginning to crack through and develop audiences like with Lee and with others. It's stunning to see not only what is covered by the mainstream media, but it's stunning to see what's going on out there in the world that's just not covered at all. And you would think if there's any kind of competition between these guys, things will be coming up that aren't coming up, but you have to go elsewhere to find them. And people are with things like the internet and over alternative news outlets like Newsmax, people are finding some things out.
Betsy McCaughey, about a minute remains. Perhaps we can leave on a hopeful note, because there you are, situated so close to New York. You've seen media bias for so long. We've experienced it in the political arena. Are the times changing, and will that inure to the benefit of Donald Trump? About 40 seconds,
oh, yes.
Betsy.
The times are changing. People understand that, for example, the New York Times is extremely biased. Their response to the Benghazi report tonight was laughable. Laughable is the only word to characterize their front page stories, that there was nothing new in the Benghazi report. So Americans do understand that some of these major media outlets are very biased, and thank goodness they watch Fox and Newsmax and read the New York Post.
Friendly amendment to that, we want to make sure they watch Newsmax, hopefully exclusively. Betsy McCaughey from Connecticut, we thank you very much. And of course, Glen Downs here on the anchor desk. It's good to have you here too as well, sir. Hey, one important note, to see some of our favorite and powerful sound bites and clips, visit our Newsmax Prime Facebook page. We're updating it nightly, so be sure to check it out and be sure to like our page, Newsmax Prime. Coming up next, you're going to like it a lot, Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee. He'll talk about his book and the presidential race. Stay with us.